A singer mixes up karaoke lyrics, sounding dramatic and emotional, but they're just hungry. Have you ever been at karaoke, just belting out a song, feeling every single word, pouring your heart and soul into the performance, only to look up and realize you've been singing the complete wrong lyrics? Yeah, me too. And let me tell you, it can lead to some pretty hilarious and sometimes downright weird situations. So there I was, last Friday night at our usual karaoke spot. The lights are dim, the crowd is hyped, and my friend, let's call him Alex, steps up to the mic. Now, Alex takes his karaoke very seriously. He's not just singing, he's performing. He closes his eyes, clutches the mic stand, and the opening notes of a classic emotional power ballad start to play. You know the one, it's all about heartbreak and loss. The crowd goes silent, ready for the feels. Alex takes a deep breath, and with a voice trembling with manufactured emotion, he sings, "Hold me closer, tiny dancer." Count the headlights on the highway. Wait, what? I blinked. Did he just sing headlights? I looked around. A few people were giggling, but most were still caught up in his dramatic performance. The guy next to me whispered, "Wow, this song is deeper than I remember." But Alex was in the zone, completely oblivious. He continued, his face a mask of pure anguish. The next line was supposed to be about a lost love, a beautiful poetic metaphor. Instead, Alex crooned, "There's a bathroom on the right," which, okay, is a classic Misheard lyric from another song, but he sang it with such conviction, like he was directing a lost soul to eternal salvation, or at least to the restroom. It was a masterpiece of unintentional comedy. He was mixing and matching misheard lyrics from a dozen different songs into one epic, nonsensical anthem of sorrow. He gets to the big chorus, the part where he's supposed to be screaming for his lover to come back. He throws his head back, one hand reaching for the heavens, and bellows, "Excuse me while I kiss this guy." The entire room just erupted. People were crying with laughter. I was doubled over, pretty sure I was going to pull a muscle. He wasn't just mishearing the lyrics. He was creating a whole new narrative. A story about a tiny dancer with a hygiene problem, a desperate need for a public facility, and a surprising romantic encounter. After his performance, which ended with a dramatic mic drop, he came back to our table, sweat beading on his forehead, looking totally spent. He looked at us, his eyes wide, and said, "Man, I really felt that one, you know? That song just speaks to my soul." We were all still wheezing. I finally caught my breath and asked, "Alex, what song do you think you were just singing?" He looked at me, confused. "The one about the tiny dancer, obviously. Why?" We had to break it to him gently. We showed him the actual lyrics on my phone. He stared at it, his jaw slowly dropping. "Count the headlights, not headlights, and it's hold me closer, tiny dancer, not." Oh no. He turned bright red. "And the bathroom on the right, that's not even in this song, is it?" We all just shook our heads, still giggling. But you know what? It got me thinking, how many times have we all done this? We hear a song, our brain fills in the gaps with whatever it can latch onto, and suddenly, a profound love song becomes an ode to breakfast cereal. I did a little digging, and it turns out this phenomenon is so common it has a name, Amanda Green. It comes from an old poem where the line "and laid him on the green" was misheard as "and Lady Mondegreen." Let's talk about some of the absolute classics. You've got Jimi Hendrix, who many people swear was excusing himself to kiss a random dude. You have the Bee Gees, who apparently are not singing about a woman in motion, but a one-eyed man in a friction, which sounds way more dangerous. And who can forget Elton John's Rocket Man? A song about the loneliness of space travel, which to many ears sounds like he's burning out his fuse up here alone, which is pretty bleak. But a whole generation of kids, myself included, heard "burning out his shoes on beer and scones," a much more pleasant, if slightly bizarre image. A guy just living his best life, kicking back with some pastries and a pint. One of my personal favorites is from the song "Blank Space" by Taylor Swift. The actual lyric is, got a long list of ex-lovers. But for the longest time, I, along with half the internet, was convinced she was singing all the lonely Starbucks lovers. It honestly makes just as much sense in a weird way. It paints a picture of a coffee shop full of heartbroken people sipping lattes. I kind of like my version better. It's more cinematic. And it's not just about getting the words wrong. It's about the conviction with which we sing them. My friend Alex wasn't just mumbling, he was emoting. He was feeling the pain of that tiny dancer's scalp condition. He was channeling the urgency of finding that bathroom on the right. That's the magic of it. We create our own little pocket universes inside these songs. Think about it. Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody is a treasure trove of misheard lyrics. Saving his life from this warm sausage tea. Sounds delightful, but it's monstrosity. Or the iconic line, Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me. Many a car ride has been filled with people shouting, Beelzebub has a devil for a sideboard. I mean, where else would he keep his fine china? It just makes practical sense. The best part is when the misheard lyric is arguably better than the real one. In the song Africa by Toto, the line is, I bless the rains down in Africa, a beautiful evocative image. But so many people hear, I guess it rains down in Africa. It changes the whole tone from a profound blessing to a guy just kind of shrugging and stating an obvious meteorological fact. Yep, it's raining in Africa. Go figure. It's so mundane that it becomes brilliant. Then there are the ones that are just pure unadulterated nonsense. In Manfred Mann's Earth Band's Blinded by the Light, the real line is revved up like a deuce, another runner in the night. But what do we all sing? Wrapped up like a douche, another boner in the night. I have no idea what that means. Nobody does. But do we sing it at the top of our lungs every time it comes on the radio? Absolutely. This all came full circle for me the other day. I was at the grocery store, and a song came on the overhead speakers. It was a soulful, sad-sounding ballad. A woman was singing with so much pain in her voice, and I could have sworn she was singing, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. It was so dramatic, so over the top. I thought, wow, this songwriter was really going through it. Probably a metaphor for a deep emotional hunger, a starvation of the soul. I felt a real connection to her pain. I got home and I couldn't get the song out of my head. I had to know what it was. I looked it up, typing in the one line I was sure about, and nothing. No songs about equine level hunger. I tried humming it into a music finder app. Finally, I found it. The song was about a cheating partner, a classic tale of betrayal. And the lyric I had heard, it wasn't about being hungry at all. The actual line was, I'm so haunted by your ghost. I just sat there and laughed. My profound metaphorical interpretation of a soul starving for connection was really just my own stomach rumbling. I hadn't eaten lunch yet, and my brain, in its infinite wisdom, had decided this sad singer must be as hungry as I was. It was my own personal head lice on the highway moment. And I think that's why we love these misheard lyrics so much. They're a little window into our own minds. They reflect what we're thinking about, what we're feeling, or sometimes just the most random, nonsensical thing our brain can come up with. It's a shared experience of collective confusion that's just plain funny. These lyrical blunders connect us. Every time someone posts a new one online, hundreds of people comment, I thought I was the only one. You're not. We're all out here, confidently singing about kissing guys and Starbucks lovers. So next time you're at karaoke, or just singing in the shower, don't worry too much about getting the words exactly right. Just sing with passion. Sing with emotion. And if you happen to sing about a one-eyed man in a friction or a devil's sideboard, just own it. You might just be creating the next great Mondegreen. You're not just singing a song. You're creating a legend. A very, very confused legend. Thanks for hanging out with me today and taking a trip down this rabbit hole of lyrical misunderstandings. It's been a blast. If you enjoyed this, and maybe even learn the real lyrics to a song you've been singing wrong for years. If you like, give me a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Let me know in the comments what are some of the best misheard lyrics you've ever come across. I can't wait to read them. Until next time, keep singing, even if you're a little off key. See ya!